Hey everybody, welcome back in E3 world. Actually, we're streaming today's member to YouTube today. So hey, we're just putting that out there. We got a bunch of questions coming in and questions from our members and stuff, but we wanted to spend a little bit of time here Saturday morning because it's kind of a cloudy day, so we can't fly today. We actually had a cool flight in store for you guys we were going to do and a little bit of educational stuff, but we're not doing that today. But so we figured we'd take some time and go through some of your questions and stuff that have come in, and we got more questions coming in now. So just want to let you guys know what's going on. So some people have been asking, a lot of members have been asking about what projects we've been working on and things that are happening and stuff like that. And I'll tell you a couple of them. One we just finished, which is really cool. It's in the X-Cub. We did a hard molly panel in the back. And if you guys know a molly panel, hold on, let me grab the old one here. So we have these like the tack arrow molly panels in the back of the Carbon Cub. So it's like this, and we were able to put all kinds of stuff on it, our med kits and all that. This is the soft one from Tack Arrow. So we just did a really cool install. Tack Arrow now has a rigid molly panel that fits perfect in the back of the Carbon Cub. So you're probably gonna see that whole video. We did a full install on that with a little bit of flights and stuff like that. Probably see that video in about a week. So check that out. Hey Sharon, thanks for coming. Good to see you. Okay, so I see a bunch of you guys coming in, members and stuff. Sharon's asking what flights are coming up. So what we have, where we're going to be filming here, is we got one flight. We're going to be doing some new locations on SkyShare came up. Some of you guys have put some new stuff in. There's one on the north side of Okeechobee that we want to go check out. Watch for that video because we're going to actually get in the SkyShare, the E3 SkyShare app, show you everything about that particular location. I'm not going to share it today, but and then we're going to actually go fly it and go check it out. So we're going to do a little bit of like SkyShare with a flight in the X-Cub because it is actually a water landing. So we're going to be landing there, going to a beach. Looks like a really cool spot. So we got that coming up. Actually, also tomorrow. So today's Saturday, May 30th or May 31st. Tomorrow, June 1st, Sunday, 8 a.m., we have a really cool video coming out. We did a really cool tour in the Game Bird of Lake Okeechobee, and some of it, we did it inverted. So you want to go check that video. And we're doing something really cool and special. So tomorrow morning, June 1st, 8 a.m., the video's coming out, and everybody that goes, likes, and makes a comment on that video is going to get entered into a random drawing for a couple of things. One, to get a flight in this Game Bird. So we're going to have you come here, do a flight. We'll work out all the logistics with you and stuff like that. Now, we'll let you choose. You want to go in the X-Cub, the Game Bird, any of the other planes, just let us know. But go make a comment on that tomorrow morning, June 1st, 8 a.m. That video's coming out for everybody through the course of Sunday, tomorrow, that makes a comment and just chats with us through that video. You'll be entered. We're also sending out some hats. So if you don't have an E3 hat already, we'll be sending out some hats, some patches. We got all kinds of cool stuff here from a lot of our partners and stuff that we're good. There's probably about 20 prizes that we're going to be sending out. All you have to do is make a comment tomorrow, 8 a.m., and we will be randomly picking people and sending out a bunch of prizes and stuff like that. So let's see, John, what flight? Well, we just talked about that. Flight's coming up. So that flight is cool. It's probably a half-hour episode on the history of Lake Okeechobee and stuff. We went up and we went to lunch up in KOBE, Okeechobee. It's a really cool place we go to Sundays, Saturdays. It's really great where a lot of the pilots from all over Florida, because it's kind of central, that's where we kind of all go and connect. Other places we got coming up here, we're going to be taking a flight down south to Everglades City, which they just redid that airport, really cool, but it's a really cool little town. So we're going to take a flight down there. We'll be doing that one. We might be doing a flight tomorrow. We got somebody special guest coming in to the hangar here tomorrow, one of our members, and we're probably going to be going up in the Game Bird tomorrow. We'll be filming that and stuff as well. So let's see, Kelly, show us the hangar. Well, it's kind of dirty, but I'll have the crew kind of pan up. Let's see if we can show you the hangar a little bit here. So I'll walk around here. Give me a second, and the crew will pan up here. So the hangar here is, of course, we got the small planes on this side. So we got the Game Bird, we've got the X-Cub over here, X-Cub on floats, the FX3s on the other side. helicopters, the Citation. So you can kind of see a little bit. It's a pretty big hangar. I think we're 100 feet that way and about 250 feet this way. And we got plenty of room. So what you can't see is behind the camera and stuff right now is the crews with all their production equipment. Actually over here, I'll kind of point as I get back to the table here. But over here on this side, we have all of our stuff behind here. So behind these walls are all the crew's production equipment, cameras, cranes, lights. There's all kinds of stuff for the crew and stuff here. So that gives you a little short one. What we'll do is, you know, a lot of you guys keep asking about the hangar, and I know a lot of you guys are asking to come here. We'll do a separate video. We'll have the crew get a handheld or something, and we'll do kind of a whole full video of the whole hangar and all the planes and stuff like that. So keep your eye out for that, and we'll go through that. So you got a little bit of the hangar. Kelly again asking, any new planes? So we're thinking of making some changes. I guess I'll go ahead and tell you guys. So we're probably going to be selling the Game Bird, and we're looking at either a Waco or possibly looking at going to an extra 330. I'm not sure we're going to do LXLT, but so we've done a ton of stuff in the Game Bird, and we've kind of done everything we can to it. Physically, things that we can do to the plane and stuff for you guys, for content and stuff. So we're probably now going to go to a 330 extra. We haven't had one of those. We've had all other extras. So either a 330 or an NG. We're not sure yet. Maybe Waco. We're probably also going to be selling the X Cub, and we're going to do another NX Cub, and then do a whole bunch of stuff. So I've got a lot of stuff I want to do to the Cub. We're going to be putting in Starlink satellite. We want to put in infrared camera. There's a lot of stuff we're going to do. So I'm kind of on the borderline thinking, well, maybe what we do is we're going to sell the float plane. We're going to get an NX Cub because we haven't had one of those yet. And then we're going to try that one out and do a whole bunch of mods and all kinds of stuff to the NX Cub. So, or possibly just the X Cub on 35s, of course, with the big engine. So this is the 215 versus the 185 that we have in the FX3. So that's kind of what we're looking at for planes. Other than that, right now, I'm not sure. This year, it's probably what I'm focused on. I want to kind of try a couple other planes and stuff like that. So hopefully that answers your question. Can I extend the launch? Okay. Well, actually, a lot of you guys probably don't know that we're doing a special launch right now for E3 members. So it was for the month, this month, that we're doing like this thing where you get all kinds of bonuses and special discounts, and there's some cool things we're doing with Trent Palmer as part of the launch, because Trent's part of the company now. That was a special for this month, and it ended at the end of this month. However, I think we're going to extend it because we've had a bunch of companies now, companies like Lyft, Banyan. They really want to promote it and be able to get it out to their customers and stuff like that. So we might extend it for a week. So if you haven't, if you're, well, I forget I'm talking to YouTube today. So members, stand by for 1 second. But if you're not a member and you're seeing us here on YouTube, go to e3aa.com, e3aa.com. Become a member right now we're going to extend it another week. You get some really cool special deals to become a member. And man, what a great community. Everybody here is just awesome. So yes, thanks for mentioning that. Couple other questions coming in here. Oh, you saw our EDC and the Molly and the EDC video. So what's my EDC? All right, I'll go through it. Evidently, we got some firearms fans here too. For those of you who don't know, we also have E3 Firearms, E3 Overland, E3 Camping, E3 RVing. So our other sister brands too, but E3 Firearms is one of our biggest brands. And we've been having more and more people ask for more like how we deal with firearms and aviation and stuff all at the same time. We actually got the Firearms Guide to Fish and Wildlife out here that work with us and different stuff. So we've been just kind of showing you like the rigid Molly panel that just went in. We have our Honey Badger mounted to that. We went to the rigid so that we can actually mount like an AR-15 style to that gun and stuff like that. Obviously, if we're out in the Everglades or something, you get on the Everglades or whatever, you get alligators and stuff. So I'm not a hunter, that's not my thing, but more protection type stuff. But so I will go through my EDC with you guys. If you guys want to see it, firearm stuff, let me know in the chat also if you want to see more of what we do here at Firearms and stuff. My EDC Justin, to kind of just answer your question. So I typically every day, I always have my Surefire light. This is at a minimum, you got to have this. Even at like night and things like that. You know, we do a whole course on E3 Firearms about, it's called the 90% rule, about how to never get to a place where you ever need a firearm. If you get to the last 10%, you did something wrong. There's 90% of something that has to happen. A perpetrator has to be there, there has to be a victim, the victim's not paying attention. There's a whole bunch of things that have to happen. If you can break one of those pieces in that 90% chain, you'll never get to the 10%. We're not advocates of everybody should be carrying a firearm. That's not what we're about. We're definitely more about you should be trained and proficient and all that, but I don't want to go down a rabbit hole and go into firearms. But my point in saying all that is a flashlight in itself can be a huge deterrent. If you're walking down the street or in a garage, parking garage, and there's people around or whatever, just the fact that you pull out your light and you're walking around and you're acknowledging somebody, hey, how you doing? And you walk by, that alone is enough to break the chain in the 90% to not have an incident or get to the 10% where you would need your firearm. So I tell people at a minimum, always a firearm. And if you really needed it, it's also something good you can use for protection. So I always have my Surefire light on me at all times. Always have my knife on me at all times. So I use a couple different ones. This one's the MagTech, but I use a bunch of different kind of knives and stuff. So I always have that on with me. And reality is I use it more for opening boxes and things like that. I will show you my rig. This is my P365, but before we do anything, let's clear. So we are clear and safe. So this is my EDC. This is my P365. I do have the Surefire light on it, always. So momentary, it's just momentary only. I mean, you can press it and hold and the light stays on, or you can hold it and the light stays on and it comes off. So this is the P365. Why I like this? 11 rounds of 9mm. And these are, so I just want to tell you, this is one of our vendors. So if you go into, it's K&R, if you go into our site, E3 Firearms site, actually, it's available to everybody, even E3 Firearms. We actually, so here's a good thing for you guys members. We merged all of the benefits and all our partners, even off-road and camping and firearms, all into every one place where even if you're an aviation member or you're an RV member, you still get access to even the firearms discounts and deals or the RV or off-road deals and stuff. So check that out. But we have a great vendor that I love this appendix carry, got a spare mag, and it kind of wraps right here at your appendix. So this has been my carry for, geez, I don't know how many years, but I love this. P365. So that is my EDC, to answer your question, Josh. And I usually also have the P320 in the scabbard, and you can see the carbon cubs open right now. It's kind of a bag right there. So there's usually P320 there and stuff. So anyway, oh boy, you guys got me on firearms now. So let's talk about one more thing. I just got a call from, I can't say yet. Yesterday, they're sending me, they just released one of the most incredible firearms. If you guys remember the Q Fix, I will tell you the company, Q. So Q called me yesterday. They're sending us one of their brand new guns that is just getting released this month. I've been waiting for like 2 years for this because I knew it was coming. And if you saw our Fix in 8.6 blackout, it's the next evolution of that, and I'm real excited to get that. So we should have that here in a couple weeks. We're gonna do a video. Maybe we'll do a flying video, going shooting like some of our other ones. We go to some ranges that we can fly in the plane, land right there and shoot and stuff. So we'll do that, but let's get back on our aviation stuff here. Questions on any new products? So who's asking? Okay, so Steve, any new products like the helmet? Yeah, so there's a couple things. Anything we like is what you're asking. All right, any new things that we like? Okay, yeah, so cool. I will tell you that you guys probably have seen, you know, we always wear the lift helmet for obvious reasons, especially in the float plane and in the game bird or anything like that. But we are doing a video in a couple of days about something about this helmet. It's a new helmet that is probably one of the most innovative things I've seen in a long time. I can't wait to show it to you. I mean, I already like this helmet. You guys see me talk about it. If you want to go see it, there's a full video on this helmet, the vents, how it's cool, how light this is compared to everything else. I mean, this thing is incredibly light. And now the Air Force has adopted this particular helmet. But, so there's a new product, brand new. You probably don't even know about it yet out there. I'm trying to see if I can talk about it and put it out on YouTube before it comes out. But, so they're gonna let me know on that. So that's coming out, that's gonna be pretty cool. What other new products? Oh, the Molly panel from TAC Aero. That thing is awesome. You'll see it, the video I talked about it. The video is going to come out in like a week or so, maybe 2 weeks. We did a full install on the Carbon Cub on the Molly panel. So looking forward to you guys seeing that. The other thing is, you guys know we're, especially because in the RV world and off-road world, we're fans of Starlink. This whole hangar is driven by Starlink. Our RV, you've probably seen in this hangar, sometimes we have our big 45-foot coach in here, and it's got 2 satellite receivers for Starlink on that. So 2 systems on that based on where we park in the RV. If there's trees under one but not in the front, vice versa, we can switch to the receiver. But we also have the Starlink Mini. The Starlink Mini is about this big, and we're going to be putting it in the Cub. That's why I'm trying to think of maybe we'll get the new Cub first and then we'll put it in there. But it goes right under the turtle deck, mounts right up inside there. It's 12 volts, and we can have high-speed internet while we're flying, or in the middle of nowhere in the Everglades when we go land out some of the ranges and stuff like that. There's no satellite, there's no signal out there at all for phones. So we're probably going to do a Starlink system in there. So that install's coming up pretty cool. I think they're the biggest. Hey guys, do we got any other cool stuff we've been doing? Stuff coming out? Well, if you're in E3 RVing or Firearms, there's stuff coming out over there. You can check those out. But okay, so any next one, John? Any new courses? Yeah, so we have some new stuff coming out, courses for you guys. We just talked yesterday with the F-22 Raptor pilot, F-16 pilot, and then also you guys know that Feed from the Blue Angels is on our team, and John Rain Waters, F-16 Viper pilot, so he flew some of the demo team shows and stuff. We plan to do a course, I would call, that is for formation flying for civilians. Now, why it's a little delayed is we're trying to figure out what's the best way to do it, because the reality is if you got guys like from the Blue Angels that can teach this, it's going to get a little complicated. We're trying to narrow it down to it not being an official course, but just like the things you need to know, things you have to know, best ways to get out of the situation, communication, you know, some fundamentals if you want to start to get into formation flying with your friends. There's a lot of do's and don'ts, and there's stuff that most general aviation pilots don't know that you really need to know about. So we at least want to kind of get you up to speed on, here's the things you really need to know about. So we're working right now on the curriculum for doing that. Also, we do have some videos coming out. Unfortunately, you guys probably know the whole industry has lost Rob Holland. It's terrible how that happened. But we actually filmed here in this plane a bunch of stuff with Rob on some fundamentals and stuff in aerobatics and things like that. Because of the tragedy, we're just not going to put it out yet. We're going to wait a while, and when it's appropriate, we'll pull those out and release those to you guys. But it will be in your membership, so watch for that. Also, let's see. Oh yeah, the Pilot Manifesto. Thanks for mentioning that. So, and so Sarah again. Good, I'm glad you liked it. Thanks so much for checking out. If you guys haven't got this, this is free. Of course, all the members get it, but we left it free right now for the public. This is called the Pilot Manifesto 2025, going from opportunity seeker to strategic pilot. This is about 300 pages of everything you need to know to really build your pilot career. Communications, how you operate, where to go, even companies you can get attached with, like Bogey Dope, that'll help you get your job placements, and finding mentors, and it's just how to set your goals. I mean, it's just really a great book. If you just go, I don't know the exact URL, but if you just go to search Google for E3 Aviation Pilot Manifesto, this will come up. You can get this for free. So check this out. I don't know how long it's going to be out there for free, but 300-page book you can get for free. So check that out. Thanks for that. And let's see. Got a couple more questions here. what trends are we following? I take it, Jason, you're saying trends in aviation, or what is it you're saying here? Let's see. Oh, okay, so like safety trends, ATC. Actually, let me hit one. You guys know that we're kind of tied in with Tower and the FSDO and stuff, right? So we're able to get some information from them on kind of what's going on, what are they seeing as trends that are dangerous or things like that. One of the things that keeps coming up for the Tower here, and now I know that even up in New York, I've had a couple of the Tower controllers mention it too. And it has to do, actually, let me bring this up. It has to do with when you're in the pattern. So let's say you get into a pattern here in Fort Lauderdale Exec, and Tower says, enter a left downwind for 9. So runway's here, left downwind for 9, okay? Then they basically say to you, extend downwind, I'll call base. So, they got some planes on approach here, and you're extending downwind. And then they say, oh, okay, 79 Golf Bravo, turn base. So they turn base, okay? Remember, you're in a pattern. You turn base, and then what's happening is, and I was surprised at the percentage of pilots that are doing this. They turn base because they got called base. They're flying right through the center line, right through the approach, and flying right down into Fort Lauderdale International Class Charlie, and Tower's yelling at them, hey, where you going? And they said, well, you called my base, you didn't call my final. They don't call your final. They don't need to call your final. They might, but they don't have to. If they say extend downwind, I'll call your base, they call your base, now you're in the pattern. You get to your center line, you turn your final. They're not going to call your final. They're saying that's happening a lot. Now, it's probably happening a lot more here because we have so many students, but we thought we would share that with you guys because that is something that they told us that's coming up a lot. I know another one that's kind of like controversial, I guess, depending where you are, is the issue of when you get handed off your IFR, you get handed off from approach to Tower. What do you say to them? Normally, I typically like to say, if approach handed me off, hey, you're cleared for the approach, 2,000 feet to whatever established, clear for the approach ILS 9, contact Tower. When I head off the Tower, I typically like to say, exec Tower, 79 Golf Bravo, ILS 970, whatever. That's typically, at least they try to give them a little bit. A lot of Tower controllers are saying, look, just check in, 79 Golf Bravo, on ILS, whatever, something simple. Because they know more about where we are and what's going on than we probably do in most cases. So there's this controversy going on. They're like, look, just check in. We know where you are. We know you're in approach. Approach just handed you off to us. We're waiting for you. We know you're there. Just check in. Because, and then sometimes you get the opposite. Even up at JFK and stuff, a lot of the really good pilots understand they just check in. And at a busy airspace like that, most of the tower controllers should know that's good, okay? Now, then there's some tower controllers that'll give the pilots a hard time if they didn't say, whatever, Embraer, whatever, 123, 7 miles out from Embraer on ILS 24, right. I mean, if they don't do all that, the tower controller gives them a hard time. So there's kind of this, I haven't seen a whole lot of writing, but I can tell you it's not in the ICAO regulations. So you need to go do all that. You just need to simply check in. I would love for you guys to make a comment here. Tell me what you think about it. I kind of look at it from a situational kind of issue going on and stuff like that. So how I do it, but I'm usually pretty, if I'm on IFR and they hand me off, I just usually click over pretty quick. So those are a couple things that we see that's going on and stuff. So let me see any other questions here. So I guess we're gonna wrap up in a minute here. Also, just remember guys, check that video out tomorrow morning. June 1st, 8 a.m. Really cool video. Go and make a comment on it. We'll be sending out some cool prizes and things like that. We're going to extend the launch. So if you're not a member, check it out. We'll extend it to next weekend. Get your pilot manifesto. If there's no other questions, guys, we're going to head out of here. But great Saturday morning. Hopefully, we're going to fly tomorrow. If not, we will see you on the next one. All right. Take care, everybody. So long.